What's up YouTube, Amy's Bro here, and for this video, well, we have a couple things. One, I actually bought a game off of Steam today. Well, more or less the Humble Bundle store. For $5, they had Sleeping Dogs. So I bought that. And, I actually wanted to test something with the PlayStation 4 controller. There is a bit of a fallacy when it comes to saying that you can actually use this to play PC games. Sleeping Dogs? No you can't. Because there's certain things you're going to have to be able to do, and you're going to need a 360 controller to play it proper. Even if you try to fool the computer into thinking you have a 360 controller, it just doesn't work. So I'm going to get one, maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend, but I am going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to get all the collectibles in the PC version of a of a PS3 game that I have gotten 100% collectibles in, which is Sleeping Dogs. So I'm going to do it twice over, which I've never done before. So that will actually be a lot of fun to do once I get the 360 controller that I need. Preferably a new one. And I'm going to get one that's wired, so I don't have to worry about battery life on the goddamn thing. Anyway, so that's that. By the way, I got the game for $5. I'm quite proud of that. I love that game. But anyway, that's not the purpose of the video. Although that is something I wanted to talk about real quick. Tonight we are going to be talking about a subject which I think needs to be discussed a lot more in both the gaming community and the anime community, because especially amongst female fans when it comes to anime, I sometimes wonder, do they watch for the right reasons? The topic we are going to be discussing is the emotional connection that you feel with certain characters in anime series that you watch, or when you play video games. I can tell you that in the 17 years so I started following Japanese anime, I have had a connection with a lot of different characters. I can tell you that from watching those different series that I have laughed, cried, well, nearly cried, but I have laughed, nearly cried, gotten pissed off, not necessarily at the story, but at characters for doing things that I thought were despicable, and sometimes gotten frustrated with the story progression. When it comes to video games, you can sort of say I've had some of the same emotions, but maybe it took me a while to actually realize. Like with the game of Stynex, with the ending to that game. The way it ends is a goddamn tearjerker. And it is one of my favorite games on the system. I've wondered, though, lately, if over the course of gaming, does the emotional connection to characters start to separate because the stories aren't well thought out, or maybe the voice acting takes you out of the story, I don't know. But I have found that if I go back and I play a Stynex, knowing the ending to the game and having played through it before, especially now, would it grip me as much as say the ending to I don't know, pick a game from this past generation. Let's take Sleeping Dogs. Now, Sleeping Dogs, that game doesn't really do that. It doesn't have the emotional connection, but it was a hell of a fun game to play, and I enjoyed it immensely. But a game like a Steinax, like I said, you're going through the story, and because of the way they told the story through the cutscenes, where you were just reading text that, I swear to God, was going about one letter every 5 seconds. No, seriously, try timing a cutscene on that goddamn game. It allows you to start to connect to a character emotionally, connect to the story emotionally in a way that... And also you can say the same thing about the story from the 3 Ninja Gaiden NES games. You know, here's the CIA agent that shot, quote-unquote, Ryu Hayabusa, and over the course of 3 games, you find out the story, and you find out that Ryu becomes framed and all this, and it was a brilliant trilogy. I can safely say I've never beaten any of them because they're so flipping hard. But I did enjoy all 3 games. I think the furthest I ever made it on any of them was level 3 in Ninja Gaiden 2 once. I'll repeat that. I made it to level 3 on Ninja Gaiden 2 one time. Something to think about there. Now, I didn't get mad at the game. I got more or less mad at myself because you would think if you've died about 500 times on a section, you would learn a pattern, you would learn the boss's pattern, you would learn how to overcome an obstacle. No, I just got mad at myself. That had nothing to do with the game. I love the games, like I said. But then you get into the anime section, and here's people writing and voicing a story that takes a span of 6, 12, 13, 26, 50, 100, 200 episodes, 700 episodes, and you go along the ride with them, and they're literally conducting your emotions for you. What I mean is, they know when to bring you up, they know when to bring you down, they know when to make you laugh, they know when to make you cry, they know when to make you happy, they know when to make you sad, they know when to make you angry. They know everything about you, it seems, that game developers don't do anymore. I'm serious. If you see any form of emotion, it's usually a Let's Player acting or a live streamer, pissed off because they missed something. Has nothing to do with the story for the most part. But it does beg the question, when did the gaming industry lose its way completely? There is this emotional disconnect. Okay? Here's you. Here's the developer. Okay? You are trying to get into the story of the game and into the characters and everything. Here's the developer sort of trying to do everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen. We could go into the PS2 era. We could go into games like the Shin Megami Tensei games and the Persona games that came out for the system. We could get into we can get into the fucking Dragon Warrior game that came out for the system. We can get into the Dragon Warrior games that came out for the NES. And they had a bit more of an emotional ride that you took. Hell, the emotion that I experienced the night when I sat in this room and beat Necrosaurio, because I had finally done it. I had finally beaten the 2 Dragon Warrior games that my father has beaten. For anybody that wonders, he's beaten the original, he's beaten number 4. Those are the only 2 either of us have ever beaten. Neither of us have beaten 3, neither of us have beaten 2. He's come close, but neither of us have done it. And that game is, I don't want to say impossible, but it's hard. Dragon Warrior 2 is probably the hardest Dragon Warrior I have played. Bar none. But the story that game tells you is a very interesting one, because it tells it to you over 5 chapters. The way anime tells you a story, the way mangas tell you a story, is over a number of episodes, or a number of volumes, or a number of chapters in those volumes, and a number of pages. And it's your job as the reader, as the viewer, to go along with the ride and to enjoy the ride. I can tell you right now, I've enjoyed those rides more than watching a WWE program. Because if the writers of a WWE program are getting me mad, it's legitimately getting me mad at them and not the bad guy for screwing over the good guy. Legitimately. That's why I haven't watched WWE since goddamn, I don't know, September, October of last year. No joke. But you watch anime, you watch the way they tell the story. You watch a fucking J-drama. I watched, what was this one? I watched Happy Boys, which is a really good one that I suggest you all watch. The story they tell, every one of the butlers got basically a 2-episode story. Because there was 5 butlers, so they got 10 episodes, and the final 3 episodes told the end of the story. And every time we got to the end of one of the stories for the butlers, I nearly had a breakdown. They knew, the writers seemed to know how to bring me up and laugh my butt off, but then towards the end, they had me in the palm of their hand just about ready to cry. Do we see where this is going? Gaming has lost its way as far as allowing an emotional attachment or emotional connection to the player. It's alright to laugh at things, like in the South Park 6 Truth game, but what about the other emotions? What about being able to just be happy, to be sad, to be angry, to be every other thing possible? What happened? Why is it that if I can sit down and watch a 20-minute episode, 20 to 25-minute episode of, say, Kuroko's basketball, and to watch the way the story plays out through the game, and to watch the end of that game, and just be in awe at how a young blue-haired boy, who's probably average at everything else but can do things with a basketball that you and I can't do. He's a magician, practically. And to see him be able to do things and help his teammates do things that would be otherwise impossible. To be able to watch Sailor Moon and be able to get pissed off when I'm watching Uranus and Neptune act like the biggest jack-offs known to mankind to supposedly their comrades, but yet be happy when, Urawa and Amy are together and they're having a moment or whatever. Just those simple things. For 200 episodes, I laughed, I cried, I got angry, I got happy. Did you understand what I'm saying? For 26 episodes, and I'll do this better when I do a proper review of them. For 26, almost going to be probably 39 episodes soon, I laughed, I wanted to cry, I got happy, I never got angry. When I watched my boys from Starish and Mutapri take me on a journey through the music world, the pop music world. Do you see what I'm getting at yet? It upsets me. Legitimately upsets me that I'm watching an industry that I have taken part in some way as a gamer for probably almost 30 fucking years, completely lose its attachment, completely lose its weight with me. And yet, an industry that I have gotten the chance to enjoy for 17 years, and even more so in these past few months, has shown me what I've been missing. Shown me what it's like to laugh, to cry, to want to cry, to just be emotional again. When is the last time for you, this brings me to my question for tonight, when is the last time for you a game has actually been able to do that? When is the last time a game has made you enjoy really being a gamer emotionally again? Maybe I'm the exception to the rule. Maybe I'm one of the few people that is looking at gaming differently than what he should be. But the problem is I have another genre that's waiting for me. That says to me, come here. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be joyful. It's okay to be ready to kick some... Be ready to want to kick one of the protagonists or one of the antagonists' heads in. It's okay to be that way. So what happened? No, seriously. Where do we lose our way in gaming? It's a topic not many people talk about, but it needs to be. Because by God, I'm going to tell you, the more you watch that genre of entertainment, you're going to start appreciating anime more, and J-dramas and K-dramas more, and then you're going to ask the questions I've been asking now for about the past 2 or 3 years. Where did gaming go wrong? Where? Tell me. Please. Tell me I'm nuts, please. But then, if you're going to tell me that, be able to back up why I'm nuts. Because I don't think there's going to be many people disagreeing with me. You all have a good night. There's an update on my Facebook page about some things concerning the next anime series that will be reviewed. Speaking of the devil. So, go check that out. I will leave a link to my Facebook down here. And you all have a great evening. And until we meet again, take care.